Welcome to American Dreams. I'm visiting here today with Robert Gay. Robert, welcome.
Thank you. We're happy to be here with you, Alan.
So we just finished our Legacy Builder Conference. It was the third time we came together, and I am very appreciative for the work that you've done in helping to mentor us along. There's a couple of things I want to just go over about the principle of self-reliance.
Sure.
You've done this a few times, and where you're really taking the entrepreneur model for sustainability and putting it into philanthropy. Can you give some idea of inspiration, what caused you to move through this, and the concept of self-reliance?
Oh, absolutely. So my journey actually began as a young boy in Mexico City. I went there with my father over the Christmas break, and there weren't a whole lot of hotels in Mexico at the time, and we were, he was a very successful businessman, and we stayed at the top floor of a beautiful suite there. And then I looked out the window, and I think I'm 11 or 12 at the time, and for the first time in my life, I saw a whole different life. I saw women washing clothes in a mud stream. This was right in center of Mexico, looking out a hotel window, and I'm watching a bunch of young kids without shoes trying to play football or soccer on a dirt field. And I thought, wow, you ought to do something about it. I mean, literally, you need to do something about that in your life. And so that was the beginning of a journey that ultimately led me to through school and into Harvard, where I focused and became the first person ever to take a double PhD, basically. It was a single PhD, but in both schools between economic development and finance. And my idea was, can we lift people in a unique way by using capital markets? And then we launched an NGO called Unitas to do just that. But the whole point was, as we'd gone through and began to study and to look at all this, you can't just give money to people because it doesn't go anywhere. I mean, it helps in emergencies, and you have to take care of some basic healthcare and nutrition and different things before you can really start talking about self-reliance. But once you get people into a basic position to find and to keep themselves employed, and there's just not enough jobs in the world. And so our idea was we had to help start small businesses. But you can't start a small business unless you get people to be accountable. They have to take responsibility for themselves. And in all the work at Harvard, in all the interactions as we began our NGO, just kept reinforcing that point. And so we knew the self-reliance was the key, because there weren't enough jobs, and there still aren't enough jobs. So you have to start and grow small businesses. And that's the only way to lift a big group out. But to do that, you need them to take responsibility. And we started in Kenya, and then we went to Ethiopia. And one of the things that we found in Ethiopia was we'd go into villages. We put together a big project together in the Rift Valley. And we went to the villages and said, we can help you with these things, which will be basic tools to lift your life here in the village, from education to healthcare to small business. But we will only do it if not just the women who are concerned about their children help us, but the men. And we've had village after village where the men would refuse to commit. And this idea of everybody taking responsibility, and they may not have money to put in the game, but they can put skin in the game and accountability, and that becomes a linchpin in helping people become self-reliant. And the second thing is, we found that you had to have the right programs, and it's very important what what you teach and how you educate, but it never sustains itself unless you have mentors. And so a big part of our work would be how and where do we find mentors? And everybody here can do that. I remember that Mother Teresa was the graduation speaker at my Harvard commencement. She came to the school, and after all the talks and everybody celebrating themselves as being Harvard graduates and that they were now, kings of the world and ever that, she got up there and she said, I don't have any gold or silver to give this university who's honoring me here today. I don't have anything to give to you. But then she talked about the unborn children in the world, and she said, some of you are going to think about taking a life today or tomorrow. Don't do that. She said, I will be the mother. You bring that child to me, I'll be the mother. And then she said, you all can be mothers. We can all be mothers. We can all be fathers. We can all be brothers. And that's what it's going to take. It takes a combination of self-responsibility, the right tools, and other people being brothers and sisters to each other. And that's how we sort of launched it and how we got involved.
Well, Bob, I really appreciate the work that you're doing around this world and self-reliance and spreading the word into these nations. A quick plug, though.
Yeah.
Ensign University. Recently, you opened up a campus over in Ghana, and the first university to do a Western education or degree.
Right. We opened a college that we've now turned into a university. And what we did it with the idea that, look, sending people over to the United States to get educated is actually a great thing, but it's a very risky thing because once people get outside their country, they don't want to go back. And what we wanted to do was develop education, especially in healthcare and business, where those people would stay and then help their own communities and country. So we wanted to do it with the highest levels of education. So we built a school of public health, has multiple master's degrees. It's all graduate work. And we've invited the country's doctors and professionals and other, people who have had a very good track record in education to come to the university to get a master's in public health. But the way that we found that we could attract them to make it worth their while was it had to be at a standard that was going to be a game changer for them. So we worked for a long time to make sure we had a U.S. accredited or a Western-accredited program, which is the highest level in the world. And so we worked with the accreditation agencies, and we were going to partner with a university, but we decided to do it ourselves and develop local faculty and all of that. And we received our accreditation this last year. It's the only accredited school of public health in the continent of Africa that has a Western level of education and skill set. And as I told everybody when we went through the review process, our school consistently outperformed the reviews done at the leading schools of public health in the United States. So we have as good a school as anywhere in the world that allows a local education. You don't have to leave, a much lower cost education. And then we replicate it in the business. And instead of doing a MBA, we went to the University of Utah, which had created a program called Masters of Business Creation, Entrepreneurship. And we brought that program. It's a program we're now started, and it's all going, where we're now developing people that are bringing their business plans, and we provide them the tools, the infrastructure, and everything to then launch those businesses in a much more effective way, all the mentoring again, in their own country. And it's sort of like it's just a graduate school of entrepreneurship. And all these things, we just want to deliver the best product we can to as many as we can without them leaving country. So that's our idea. But basically now you could get essentially a University of Utah degree, a Western degree in Ghana, and it has real practical use and applicability to the home country. And you can and our school serves all of Africa. So I don't know. It's just a short thing, and we have lots of, certificate programs, and we do other, just weekend type, trainings and different things like that. The people come out. The government, comes uses it. A lot of NGOs will use it, and technology has made it possible that you literally now can have professors from Oxford, where we have, who's also a partner in this school. Elon University has had people in Utah, but they could actually teach courses to our students in Ghana. We can get world-class professors now because of all that's available in IT. I mean, in IT, in the internet, and then we're moving and out of this conference that we just did with you. That's why we're so interested in have presenters. When I finish this, I'm having dinner with your two AI guys that are here, and we're going to figure out how we really implement a program and another business unit at our school in technology and AI, because that's going to change Africa, and that's where we're going. And that came out of here. And so we're really pleased to have been able to participate with you in this Legacy Builders Conference.
Well, I'm excited to see the future, what's going to become of these projects moving forward. So, Bob, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. You're wonderful, Alan. We are so grateful for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.